Today we're going to spend just a few minutes talking about how to create a custom data wall in eduCLIMBER. A custom data wall allows you to view academic information from different content areas into one data wall, as well as adding behavior and attendance information to make it easier for you to view all of your students' data in one place. To create a custom data wall, you select the Create drop-down menu from the Launchpad or home screen. Underneath the Create drop-down menu will be a selection called Data Wall. Click on that. Now you'll need to enter in some information in order to filter the data that you want to get. First, you'll need to name your data wall. You can name it whatever you want. For this example, I chose Test. The next drop-down menu is the school year for the students you'd like to look at. So if you select 2019-20, that will give you information for students that are in your class in 2019-20. If you'd like to search by your class or a specific class that you teach, leave the tag feature blank. We're not using tags too much at this point, so that probably would not be useful. So you can select the or by class and fill in some additional details. Once you select or by class, you're going to want to select your name, the course that you're looking for, and you can select specific periods or you can just leave it at one particular period. Once you've filled in this information, click Next. When you click Next, the next drop-down on the next screen, there's a drop-down menu where you can select up to 12 different assessment types using that drop-down menu. In this example, I clicked on the drop-down menu and selected FAST, the middle school gradebook, and MAP assessments. Once you've selected all of the assessments that you'd like to view, the next drop-down menu is going to ask you to select the specific focus tests. Anything with that little hierarchy graphic next to it is a parent test and will give the overall achievement level of that student on that particular parent test. So for example, for MAP reading, there are 3 different subskills that make up the MAP tests. The one that you want to select is the MAP reading to see the overall achievement of that student on MAP reading. Using this drop-down menu, you can select different focus tests in multiple different areas. So it's possible for me to select not only MAP reading, but also MAP math and MAP general science. Once the focus tests have been selected, as well as the assessment types, you can select Next. In this particular example, you see that I selected 3 different assessment types, FAST, MAP, and the middle school gradebook, and the focus tests that I'm looking for those different areas are the MAP reading test, the CBM reading English test, the language arts 6th grade course grade, the MAP math test, SABR's teacher, which is a behavioral assessment administered to students in grades K-5, as well as MAP general science. Once you've selected all of that and it looks good, click Next. Now there's some additional filters for behavior and attendance information. If you'd like to include behavior information, you can select this drop-down and select Discipline Power Teacher. Discipline would be Power School referrals put in by an administrator. Power Teacher would be teacher referrals put into Power Teacher by a classroom or other teacher. If you'd like to select attendance and see attendance information as well, there's a button right below that that says Include Attendance. You'll want to make sure that you select and click into that box. Once you're finished, you can click Next. And now you have the opportunity to select what years of data you would like to see. In this particular example, I picked 2 years worth of data, 2019-20, which would be this school year, as well as 2018-19, which would be last school year. And you can see that those have been selected because they appear in this box right here. Once you've selected the years you'd like to see, there's a green box at the top called Create. And when you click Create, you're going to see one large data wall. The students' names, just like in the other data walls, are over here on the left. Some of these students, because we're looking at a middle school example where we are using some tags, do have a tag that indicates they are either part of the OASIS program or the Excel reading groups. The green box under this INTV column indicate that these students are in an intervention. If the box is dark green, that means they're actively in an intervention, and there's also a light green box that indicates they've exited that intervention. The first two columns here show us the Power Teacher referrals from last year and from this year. The next two columns show us the attendance rate. Because of how data comes in from PowerSchool, the half/full day attendance rate is the most accurate. The full day attendance rate includes all tardies and all of that count against students. So really the half full day attendance rate is the one you're going to want to look at. And then all of the students' academic data is next. And you can see up here we've got map reading from last year and this year. Here's the map math from last year and this year, as well as general science from last year and this year. And if it were possible for me to keep scrolling to the right, you would see the other areas like the gradebook that we selected as well. Any of these columns can be sorted by using the drop-down menu that's available next to any testing window, just like on any other data wall that you might be used to. If you would like to pin that data wall so that you don't have to go back and enter in all that information on those screens and be able to see this data every time you open up eduCLIMBER, you can use this feature to pin the data wall to your Launchpad, and then you don't have to recreate it. At the top of the data wall is this little button called Pin. If you select Pin, it will take you to a screen that looks like this, or a pop-up window that looks like this. Type a new title for your data wall into the box labeled Pin Title. Again, you can use whatever title makes sense to you. Then you select the blue New button. When you click on that blue New button, it again asks you to type a name of the collection. It's possible for you to pin multiple data walls into one collection. Again, for the purposes of this demonstration, I just use test for both of these names, but you could use my class or the title of your class. Use the drop-down arrow, or using this drop-down arrow in this box right here, you can select a custom color for your pin that will show up on your Launchpad. And once you've done those two steps, you click Create. After you click Create, if you were to go back to the Launchpad by clicking on the little bar graph in the upper left-hand corner, you would see the collection that you pinned down here under My Collections. Every time you log into eduCLIMBER now, that pinned collection will be down there for you to view so that you don't have to put those filters in there every time. Thank you, and please, as always, let us know if you have questions about eduCLIMBER and how we can help support your learning. Thank you.